My beloved child, pause for a moment and listen with your heart. What you are about to hear is no accident. It was placed here for your ears, for your life. You are standing on holy ground. Thought the world around you feels like quicksand, but as you and I've come to remind you that your story isn't over. There is more ahead than you ever imagined. Stay until the final breath of this message, for within it lies the very thing you've been praying for: insolence. This is not a coincidence. This is divine timing. Do not look away. Now your breakthrough is closer than your next breath. As you stand on the edge of what feels like a vast wilderness, a place where the familiar fades and the horizon stretches wide with unknowns, know that I see you. I see the trembling in your heart, the small, hesitant steps you've already taken, and the many you have yet to dare. The promise before you isn't just a distant dream, shining faintly like a star swallowed by the dawn. It's a covenant, etched deep within your soul, a living word I've spoken into your spirit since the day I fashioned you from the depths of love. This moment, where you find yourself poised between fear and faith, is sacred. It's the threshold from the old life that held you back to the new life I've prepared, rich with purpose and overflowing with my favor. I understand the silent battles warring within you, the doubts that whisper lies cloaked as truth, convincing you that the land beyond is barren or that you aren't worthy to walk forward. But child, I created you for more than mere survival in this world. You are fashioned first to destiny, painted with my glory and drenched in my love. Just as the dawn doesn't hesitate to break night's hold, you must step, even if the ground beneath feels unsure. I am the steady rock beneath your feet, the unshakable foundation upon which your faith can build a fortress of hope. The promise isn't an empty word. It's as real as the air you breathe, and as powerful as the sun's rays that warm the earth. To step into promise is to accept my invitation to trust me wholly, to lean not on your own understanding, but to run boldly toward the destiny I've crafted uniquely for you. No journey into promise is without its shadows. I won't pretend the path is always smooth or that the waiting is easy. Yet, in those moments when the night is darkest and your heart is steeped in uncertainty, remember that I am there, whispering to your soul with a voice softer than a breeze but mightier than the fiercest storm. I will guide you beyond every obstacle, beyond every fear that tries to root you in doubt. This is the time when your faith must be louder than your fear, when your hope must blind the eyes of despair. My beloved, I call you now to rise, to step with courage into the place I have promised. Don't shrink back or cling to the past that no longer serves your divine purpose. You weren't created to dwell in the shadow of yesterday, but to embrace the glorious morning that beckons. Feel the pulse of my spirit within you, a flame ready to ignite the courage sleeping inside your heart. I am the God who never changes, the one who holds the blueprint of your life with infinite care. Trust in my timing, my provision, and my power to bring forth the impossible. Even if the path seems hidden, even if your mind echoes with the questions of what if and can I really, know that I have gone before you. I have already broken the chains that bound your past and opened doors that no one can close. Believe in my presence. I'm not a distant spectator, but your nearest companion. On every step you take, I carry you when your strength fails and celebrate your victories, no matter how small they seem to your eyes. My beloved, the promise is alive and it awaits your first step. Now, my dear child, listen closely to the whisper of your soul. Let it rise above the noise of the world and the doubts within. Will you embrace the courage I stir inside you today and step into the unknown with the assurance that I am with you? Will you trust that the land of promise is teeming with life and blessing, even if you can't yet see it? I am calling you out of your hesitation, from the place of safety into the vastness of my grace and power. Let this truth settle in you. You are not alone. and the path ahead is woven with my love and light. As you prepare to step forward, lay down the weight of fear. Cling to the hand I extend to you right now. Step into promise, child, for your destiny is ready, and your God is faithful beyond measure. My dear child, I am intimately acquainted with the deep places of your heart where shadows linger and wounds remain tender. You feel the weight of your mistakes, the ache of disappointment, and the gnawing sense that you fall short of what I have designed for you. Let me assure you, my beloved, I am not distant or indifferent because of your struggles. Far from it. I am closer than breath, wrapping you in a garment of unending patience and unfailing tenderness. The pain you carry is not unnoticed. It is not ignored. I see the very parts of you that you try to hide, even those areas you cannot bring yourself to face. My eyes do not condemn. They reflect the boundless capacity of my mercy reaching into every broken corner of your soul. Sometimes the sting of your heartache feels unbearable. You ask, why God? Why do I keep stumbling in the same places? The answer lies not in my judgment, but in the refinement of your spirit, a process that often feels like fire, like seasons of drought, or like a path through the wilderness where the way is obscured. Know that in the silence of these trials, I am molding you into something more glorious than you presently see. Your fragility doesn't push me away, it draws me closer. Like a shepherd searching for the lost lamb, my pursuit is relentless, patient, deliberate, a steady love that never fatigues or fades. My dear one, don't race through this season with haste or despair. Trust that even as you feel fractured, my grace is sufficient. I am the constant source of restoration, ready to mend what has been torn and to breathe new life where you have felt defeat. Your wounds are reminders of your humanity, but they are not the final word over your life. Through every tear, every sigh, I am whispering, I have not abandoned you. My presence is your sanctuary, a fortress against the storm that rages both outside and within. Enter this moment with a spirit open to receive me, not as a distant judge, but as your loving Father who longs to lift you from the mire and set your feet upon solid ground. Let me teach you the deep lesson of my patience. I don't hurry healing. It unfolds in its own perfect rhythm, calibrated with care for your soul's capacity to bear it. In your brokenness, I am weaving a tapestry of glory that you will one day behold in fullness. Though you cannot see it clearly now, every fragment of your story is being redeemed. Every weakness transformed by my power operating within you. I'm even now tenderly correcting the course where your heart has strayed. This is not punishment. It's the refining hand of a sovereign love that desires to groom you for greater intimacy with me. In moments of correction, don't recoil or resist. Instead, lean into my embrace and receive the discipline that crafts your character. I am your perfect Father, and the chisel that shapes you never slips. You need not fear my refining touch. It is fueled by compassion and infinite wisdom. Remember, the highest joy comes not from a life without trials, but from the secure knowledge that you're growing closer to me through them. Because I love you, I'm exceedingly patient. I wait for you in the stillness, for I know your heart's reluctance to release old burdens and to trust fully. My presence dissolves fear and doubt. I am your refuge and strength. Lay down the heavy yoke of condemnation that you have carried for too long. Rest in my assurance that you are deeply valued, endlessly cherished, and profoundly beloved in my sight. The wounds left by past failures don't define you. My love does. My beloved, feel the breath of my spirit gently surrounding your soul like a morning mist, soft and renewing. I am present with you right now, ready to soothe your pain and bring clarity to confusion. Invite me into the broken places. Allow my healing rivers to flow over the parched parts of your soul. I am the divine physician, and no ailment is too great for my touch. Don't let discouragement take root. Instead, fix your eyes on me, the author of your redemption, who has overcome every obstacle that stands in your way. Open your heart to me without reservation. Embrace the stillness and hear my voice speaking peace into your turmoil. You are not alone in this journey, child. I am walking beside you, guiding your steps with unwavering affection. This path before you, though uncertain and at times painful, is the way of transformation. It leads you from despair into hope, from isolation into belonging, from brokenness into wholeness. I am with you every step of the way. Let this truth settle in you. There is no darkness too deep, no failure too great, no past too heavy for my redeeming love to reach you. I see your struggle, and I'm here to empower you to stand strong again. Surrender your anxieties, your fears, and your doubts into my capable hand. Together, we will heal what is broken and nurture what is good. Come now, my dear child. Enter into my rest where grace imperially reigns and your spirit is continually renewed. Will you give me permission today to be your refuge, your healer, and your perfecting grace? I am waiting for you with an open heart, ready to fill you with my peace that surpasses all understanding. Step into my presence and know this moment as the beginning of restoration. Your journey isn't ended, it is just beginning in the hope I offer. Let me remind you that my love for you is unwavering and my patience is everlasting. Don't rush away from my correction or my comfort. Receive them like precious gifts designed for your growth. You were created for glory, for a divine destiny that I hold securely. Trust in me now. I am here, steady and unwavering, the eternal anchor for your soul. Take my hand and rest in the beauty of my enduring presence. If your heart is stirring, don't turn away. Let this be the moment of surrender and discovery where you find true healing and peace in me. I see you, I love you, and I am never leaving you, my beloved. I see the weight you carry so silently, the heavy cloak of guilt that seems woven into the very fabric of your being. It is a burden born not only from the shadows of your past, but also from the relentless voice within that whispers, "You are less than worthy." Yet these chains were never meant to hold you so tightly. I am here to unveil the truth that no mistake can obscure. Your identity is not rooted in what you have done or what has been done to you, but in who I have made you to be. Consider the potter and the clay. Sometimes the vessel is cracked or its shape imperfect, yet the potter doesn't discard the clay. Instead, through fire and steady hands, the imperfections are smoothed and the vessel becomes a treasure. Just as the potter loves the flawed clay, I cherish you with an everlasting love that doesn't flee at your failings. The guilt you feel is like a veil crafted by your own eyes or the condemnation of the world. But I invite you to lay that veil aside. Let me be the one to see you as you truly are, redeemed, beloved, and enough. There's a powerful and gentle grace that flows from me to you, my child, a grace that heals even the deepest wounds of shame and self-condemnation. Shame flourishes in isolation and secrecy, but grace lives openly, whispering, "You are forgiven, you are cherished." The story of your life isn't defined by a single chapter of failure or regret. It's a tapestry woven with threads of mercy, love, and hope. I see each tear you have shed, each prayer uttered in the dark, and I gather them up into a crown of grace placed upon your head. If you feel the crushing weight of guilt today, know that I am offering you a hand, strong and steady, to lift you out of the pit. Don't try to climb alone, nor rely on the fragile scaffolding of your own efforts to be good enough. My justice and mercy meet upon the cross of love, where all debts have been paid and all faults covered. Your shortcomings don't define your standing with me. You are clothed in righteousness that isn't your own, wrapped in the fabric of love that never fades. Imagine a vast ocean, endless and deep, reflecting the light of the sun even in the darkest hours. My forgiveness is like that ocean, immense and unending. When guilt threatens to drown your soul, come to me and I will lift you above those waves. Don't allow the whispers of failure to convince you that you must hide from my presence. Come boldly, my child. Come with open hands and an open heart, and receive the freedom I am eager to give. There is no shadow too dark, no mistake too great that my love cannot overcome. Even when your thoughts betray you with reminders of past errors, remember that I have engraved your name upon my heart. Nothing you have done or left undone can erase the mark of my love. You are mine, and that truth is immovable, as enduring as the mountains and as certain as the rising sun. The path to healing from guilt begins with resting in me, not in trying harder, not in self-flagellation, but in the serene acknowledgement of my grace. Let your weary soul find its home in this truth. You are forgiven, you are restored, and because of this you can live freely. Let this truth settle in you like a gentle rain softening hardened earth. Allow yourself to feel the flood of relief that comes from releasing yourself into my care. I urge you, beloved, if your heart is stirring with the desire to shed this burden, don't shy away from my invitation. Bring your guilt, your shame, your regrets before me, and let them be transformed by the fire of my love. I am not a distant judge, but a loving Father who rejoices over each step you take toward freedom. Remember, the burden of guilt is heavy, not only because of the weight itself, but because it isolates you from the truth of who you are and from the community around you. I call you back into the fellowship of my family, where you are known, embraced, and uplifted. You needn't carry this burden alone. Let my presence be your strength, my love your shield, and my forgiveness your peace. Embrace the newness of life I offer. A life without the shackles of past mistakes, a life luminous with hope and possibility. Every morning is a new canvas, every moment a chance to begin anew. Your mistakes aren't the end of the story, dear child. They are a bridge to the greater narrative of redemption I am writing in your life. As you meditate on this truth, seek the quietness of my presence where your soul can find rest from condemnation and hear the melody of grace. Your past doesn't imprison you. My love liberates you. With every breath, choose to believe this, even when the feelings of guilt try to persist. I am here, steadfast and patient, waiting for you to step into the fullness of freedom I have prepared. Trust me with your heart's burdens. Let them be healed and removed by my power. You are precious, my beloved, eternally cherished, and forever forgiven. Will you come to me today and receive this gift? Will you lay down your guilt and accept my love as your true identity? Let this quiet assurance anchor your soul and move forward with the courage of one who knows they are fully known and fully loved. My beloved, I see you, the intricate map of your heart drawn with vulnerabilities, hopes, and doubts. In the chambers of your soul, echoes of fear quietly resound, secret and uninvited, like shadows stretching at dusk when the last light fades. These fears are not strangers to me. I know their names and the weight they bear upon your spirit. Fear, anxiety, and doubt can feel overwhelming, as though you are standing on the edge of a precipice with the winds of uncertainty threatening to unbalance your very foundation. Yet in these moments when your heart is wrapped in trembling silence, remember that I am the steady hand that holds you firm. I don't scorn your fears nor dismiss your anxious thoughts. Instead, I invite you to lean deeper into my presence, for where I am, there is safety that defies understanding. Fear is a natural response to the unknown, but my love is the eternal light that shines brightest. When darkness encloses you like a dense forest, you are never alone in the shadows, for my spirit is nearby, whispering peace to your troubled soul. I have witnessed how often you have wrestled with doubt. You question my promises, perhaps even question my love, not because your faith is weak, but because your humanity is tender. Doubt is not the enemy. It is the doorway through which faith can grow bolder and more resilient when you choose to step through, clasping my hand tightly. This very struggle is a sacred journey. Each question you bring to me is a seed planted in fertile soil, prepared to sprout and bear the fruit of a trust deeper than you've ever known. I'm patient with your uncertainties, my dear child, and I never turn away from the seeker's heart. Do you feel weighed down by the anxieties that besiege your mind, the ceaseless what-ifs that gnaw at the edges of your peace? Know this: all your concerns are heard and held intimately within my heart. Like a loving shepherd, I gather each anxious thought and hold it close, transforming your worries with the balm of my presence. Draw near to me and pour out your feeling. No fear is too small to be brought into the light of my love. The very act of surrendering your fears to me releases their power, like lifting stones from your chest and rising above the heaviness that once seemed insurmountable. There is a transformative power in allowing your spirit to rest in me amid your fear. Picture a vast ocean at dawn, waves gently breaking upon the shore, their rhythm soothing the clamoring mind. I am that ocean, vast and embracing, offering you a place where your heartbeats synchronize with the peaceful cadence of my love. When anxiety threatens to flood your inner landscape, come to me as a child returns to the safety of a parent's embrace. Let my peace be the anchor that holds you fast. I understand how temptation comes to run from your fears, to hide them in secret places, or to mask them with false bravado. But your journey is not to flee or to conceal, but to confront and embrace your fears with honesty before me. I delight in your courage, my beloved, when you admit your vulnerabilities and bring them openly to my throne. Here there is no condemnation, only acceptance and healing. I am the refuge you seek, a fortress in the storm when your mind is besieged by fear's relentless assault. Consider for a moment the metaphor of a refining fire. Fear and doubt are like the flames that purify precious metals, burning away impurities so that what remains gleams with radiance. Though the heat feels uncomfortable, it is necessary for your transformation. I am the divine refiner, and I am working through your fears to reveal the strength and beauty of your spirit. When your faith has been tested in this way, it becomes a testament of hope to those who walk the same path. You are not broken by fear. You are being shaped, polished, and prepared for greater things. In the quiet moments when your doubts rise like waves, don't turn from me and despair. Instead, whisper your doubts aloud. Let them be known, because I hear the whispers of your heart better than you know. Your questions are sacred communication between us, an intimate dialogue that deepens your understanding of my nature. In your hunger to understand, I meet you with patient grace, inviting you to trust beyond what you can see or comprehend. Will you step forward, hand in mine? Even if your vision is clouded, there is power in declaration, my dear child. As you face your fears and doubts, boldly affirm that I am greater than every shadow that looms within you. Speak aloud the truths I have placed in your heart, that my love never fails, that I am your refuge, that my peace transcends all understanding. Don't allow your mind to be captive to the lies of fear and anxiety, for they are but phantoms compared to the reality of my eternal presence. Stand firm, rooted in the soil of my promises, even when the storms rage fiercely. Remember, my beloved, that your identity is not defined by your fears or your moments of doubt. You are mine, chosen, cherished, and precious beyond measure. Fear may seek to convince you of your unworthiness, but I remind you who you are in me. You are a child of the Most High, clothed in my righteousness and shielded by my love. Let this truth blaze within your soul, dispelling the darkness that tries to claim you. You are more than conquerors, because I am with you always. If your heart trembles at this invitation, don't turn away. Instead, hold on to my whisper and allow it to steady your racing spirit. Come closer, lean into my arms, and let me breathe peace upon you. In the quiet surrender of your fears, you will find the courage to walk forward with unwavering trust. Your journey is not marked by the absence of fear, but by the presence of my sustaining grace amid it. Let this truth settle in you. There is no fear in love, because my perfect love casts out all dread. My love is the fortress where you are safe. Will you believe me this time and let my peace reign in your heart despite the storms that swirl around you? The path ahead is illuminated by my faithfulness. Take one step, then another, and know that I'm walking beside you every moment, every breath. If your heart is stirring, if these words awaken a longing for deeper peace, don't turn away from this tenderness I place before you. You are beloved, held, and never abandoned. Draw near and let my peace that overflows calm every wave of fear and doubt within your soul. My beloved, when the heavy cloak of fear settles upon your shoulders and the shadows of anxiety twist your thoughts into knots, I am there, steadfast and unwavering, the unfailing light that no darkness can overcome. I know how fear can whisper cruel lies into your ear, how it can hijack your heart's rhythm, making your breath shallow, your steps hesitant. Anxiety may flood your soul like a relentless storm, churning the ocean of your mind into chaos. But listen closely, this tempest is not the end of your story. I am the calm that follows the wildest winds. I am the harbor where your fragile vessel finds safe anchorage. Remember, my child, fear and anxiety have roots in things unseen and sometimes even misunderstood. They seek to convince you that you are alone, vulnerable, and unprotected. But I've wrapped you in a garment of love and promise, a shield that no enemy can pierce. The very breath you take is a testament to my sustaining power within you. Your heartbeats echo the steady rhythm of my care. Even when your mind races ahead to places you dread, I am there, quietly watching, gently holding, patiently waiting for you to turn back to me. I want to tell you a secret, one you may have forgotten or never fully embraced. Fear does not belong to you. Anxiety is a thief that came without your invitation, but it will not stay if you refuse to dance with it. You were created for peace, for the boundless confidence that comes from knowing your Creator's heart beats in unison with yours. The trials that seek to unnerve you are but shadows fleeting before the morning sun. I have empowered you with a spirit of power, love, and self-discipline, not a spirit of fear. When your doubts multiply and the voice within cries out, "What if I fail?" or "What if I am lost beyond repair?" Hear me, beloved. I have never set you adrift. Your worth is not determined by your fear or failure, but by my unchanging love. Your journey may be scarred with wounds and uncertainty, but each step forward is an act of courage, a declaration that you trust me more than your fears. Even the smallest act of faith kindles a flame that grows brighter, dispelling the shadows inch by inch. Please, my dear, allow me to take your trembling hand. Don't try to stand strong alone, for you were never meant to carry these burdens by yourself. Draw near to me with the rawness of your fear, the heaviness of your anxiety. Bring me your worries like no gift is too small or insignificant, because to me, none of your struggles goes unnoticed or unloved. There is balm in my presence that no earthly remedy can match. In the quiet moments when you surrender your fears to me, I breathe promise into your heart, rewriting the story from despair to hope. I am your refuge, a shelter in times of trouble. When anxiety grips you tightly, imagine me as an unshakable mountain beneath your feet, immovable and eternal. You can lean on me without fear of faltering or falling. Even when your vision is blurred by doubts and your spirit feels faint, my grace floods in like a river breaking through a dam. Feel its cool, refreshing waters washing away the residue of fear, leaving behind peace beyond understanding. Though the night may seem endless and your prayers feel like whispers, lost in the vastness, don't give up. I hear every heartbeat, every tear, every silent cry. My patience with you is as limitless as the heavens. Even when you stumble, I don't turn away. My love pursues you relentlessly. It doesn't matter how many times fear has tried to claim you. What matters is this moment, this breath, this choice to trust me anew. Take these words deep into your soul. Beloved, your fear is temporary. My faithfulness is eternal. Your anxiety does not define you. My spirit dwells within you, reminding you of who you truly are. Let this truth settle in you like a seed planted in fertile soil, waiting to bloom in time. When the waves of fear crash over you, speak to them as one who knows the power of my peace. Declare that you are a child of light called out of darkness into my marvelous radiance. Today, step forward on the path I have laid before you. Even if your steps feel unsteady, trust that I will steady you with my hand, that I will guide you through every shadowed valley. The journey ahead shines brightly with my presence, and your heart is courageous beyond measure because I have made it so. You're never alone, my dear child. My spirit is your constant companion, your unfailing strength. Will you believe me this time, centering your trust not on what you see or feel, but on the unshakable truth of my love and power? Let your heart reach for me in the midst of your fears and find the peace that passes all understanding, waiting to embrace you. Take this moment as a sacred turning point where fear loses its grip and trust blooms like a rose in the desert, vibrant and enduring. Don't let the shadows of anxiety dictate your story. Instead, walk confidently in the light I pour upon you. Come closer. Rest a little while in my presence. Breathe in the certainty that I am your refuge, your peace, your victory. Let go of the heavy burden of fear and anxiety, placing it carefully in my hands. Watch how your spirit rises anew, unburdened and poised to face the day. You are not made to live in fear. You were made to live in my glory, my love, my unending grace. Take this truth with you, my beloved, holding it tenderly as a treasure more precious than gold. When your soul is weary, when the night seems too dark, return to this place within where I dwell, the place of quiet strength and unwavering peace. Allow my love to saturate every corner of your heart, so fear no longer finds a foothold. Trust me, for I am your God, your protector, your everlasting hope. If your heart is stirring, don't turn away. Reach out to me again and again until fear fades and faith rises unshakable. Your courage is born in my presence, and your victory is secure in my hands. Walk with me, beloved, and let anxiety yield to my perfect peace. My child, as we journey further into the depths of your heart, I urge you to feel my presence surrounding you, not as a distant force, but as the very essence that breathes life into your every moment. When the weight of fear seizes you, when anxiety tightens its grip around your chest, it is not because I have abandoned you or hidden my face. Rather, it is in those quiet, shadowed valleys that I am weaving a tapestry of strength and resilience within your soul. Fear, anxiety, and doubt are like wild storms that rage across the landscape of your inner being, yet they cannot overcome the solid rock upon which I stand with you. Do you see, beloved, how these emotions often disguise themselves as invaders, demanding your attention, blinding your faith? They creep into your mind like thieves in the night, whispering lies of worthlessness, imminent failure, and isolation. But I am the light that shatters the darkest corners. I am the steady hand that calms the raging sea. When your heart is trembling beneath the burden of uncertainty, call upon me, not as a last resort, but as your constant refuge. The peace I offer transcends understanding and settles like a blanket over the restless stirrings within you. Consider the imperfect beauty of the night sky, my beloved. Its vastness can be overwhelming, its endless expanse daunting, yet in that very immensity, I am there, constant and unwavering. Your fears may feel like stars scattered chaotically, each one a painful point of anxiety, but together they form constellations, a story that only I can interpret fully. Trust that every doubt, every flutter of worry is a piece of a greater design. The seeds of courage are planted in the soil of struggle. I am cultivating in you a faith not easily shaken, a spirit that does not falter even when the storms rage fiercely. Fear and anxiety are not the chains that bind you. They are invitations to deeper reliance, doors opening to intimate encounters where you can lean on me fully. I am never distant. Even when silence robs you of answers, my heart is beating beside yours. You were never made for solitude in your trials, for I am always reaching into the moments of your despair with tender hands, longing to lift and carry you. Beloved, when those feelings rise, let yourself be still and know me, not in grand revelations, but in quiet whispers that remind you of my unchanging love. You may wonder why I allow such turbulence to persist, why tranquility doesn't flow freely into your heart. Understand that through the refining fire of doubt and fear, your faith glows brighter, cleansed of pretense and rooted deeper in my truth. The process can feel unbearable, like the breaking of a precious vessel, but within that brokenness lies beauty. I am crafting beyond your comprehension. Let your anxious thoughts become prayers, your fears transformed into steps of trust. I am your constant companion, my dear child, and each moment you struggle, yet choose me, you are growing into the fullness of the destiny I have set before you. Don't despise the trembling of your soul. Instead, see it as soil, ready for the seeds of hope to take root. The night may be long and the shadows may seem all-consuming, but my love is a dawn that cannot be delayed. When the waves of anxiety crash, remember I have mastered the seas and hold you in my palm. Fear is but a visitor, not a permanent resident. Will you receive this peace which silently speaks of my unwavering presence within your storm? Will your heart surrender its fears into my hands today? This is the hour to let hope rise within you. Recognize that the anchor of your soul is not in the shifting sands of circumstance, but in me, your unmovable rock. Even when your faith falters briefly, know I am there to catch you, to steady you, to remind you that nothing can separate you from my love. Will you walk in that truth today? Will the trembling in your soul become a testimony of my enduring faithfulness? My dear, the journey through fear, anxiety, and doubt is not a sign of weakness, but a sacred pilgrimage into the depths of my companionship. I am weaving through every heartbeat the promise that this too shall pass, and beyond it lies a peace no one can take away. Let yourself lean fully into me. Let your spirit be cradled in my embrace, and discover how even in the trembling you are beloved beyond measure. My beloved, I see the tremors of fear and waves of anxiety that often buffet your spirit. They descend upon your heart like a sudden storm, catching you off guard, leaving you shivering beneath a sky heavy with dark clouds. These moments feel overwhelming, as if the shadows are swallowing the light I have placed within you. Yet I want you to understand deeply that fear, anxiety, and doubt are not marks of failure or distance from me. They are part of the brokenness of this world, reflections of living in a place where the perfect peace I offer has not yet fully settled. I'm not dismissing your struggles or asking you to push them away carelessly. Instead, I invite you to bring them into the light of my presence without hiding, without guilt or shame. Imagine for a moment a tiny child standing at the edge of a vast and frightening forest. The trees are tall and oppressive, the path uncertain and tangled. The child's heart races with fear, legs trembling, unsure where to go or whom to trust. But then a gentle hand reaches out, a hand that has walked through every shadow and knows every turn perfectly. That hand is mine. And my dear, I am waiting patiently for you to take it. I will not pull you forcibly. I will not scold your hesitation. I stand firm, loving, and unshaken amidst the chaos of your doubts and worries. I am the steady pillar in your storm. Your fear often whispers lies. You are alone. You are not enough. You will fail. Yet I whisper truth beneath the noise. I am with you always. You are treasured beyond measure. I have woven courage into your very being. With these truths, Courage does not mean the absence of fear, but the presence of trust in me. Despite it, when anxiety creeps in, call my name quietly in your heart. Feel the warmth of my peace settle over you like a gentle cloak that does not erase the storms but shields you in their midst. The roots of worry often grow from misunderstanding and forgetting who I am to you. I am your refuge, a sanctuary built strong against the tempests. I am the faithful shepherd who knows each of my sheep intimately. No one can snatch you from my hand. I carry your burdens as if they were my own, absorbing what you cannot bear so you can stand strong. When your thoughts whirl like wild winds, tether them to the hope found in my promises, not as a distant concept, but as a living reality poured out into your heart. There is a profound mystery in surrendering your fears to me. It is not a simple action, but a daily, sometimes moment-by-moment invitation to let go of control and rest in my sovereignty. In doing so, you learn that my strength is made perfect in your weakness. The cracks in your armor become windows through which my light shines radiant and transformative. Your vulnerability is not your downfall, but the doorway to a deeper experience of grace and empowerment. Let me carry you through these dark woods until you can walk steadily in the sunshine once again. Doubt is often a companion to fear, whispering questions that unsettle your faith. Will God really come through? Is the pain too much to bear? Why must I wait so long? These questions are not sins, but expressions of a heart that refuses to be numb or indifferent. I welcome them. I am not threatened by your honest wrestling. Through your doubts, I invite you to rest in the knowledge that I am constant, unwavering, and present. I hold the past, the present, and the future in my hands, and no circumstance can escape my wisdom or mercy. Consider the faith of those who have come before you, how they stumbled and faltered, but kept reaching for me. Even when the path was shrouded in uncertainty, their journeys were not perfect. Their fears were very real. Yet they pressed on because they trusted in my faithfulness more than their momentary feelings of dread. Their stories are woven into the fabric of my story with you, reminding you that you are never walking this path alone. Let the truth of my love be a balm to your anxious soul. Don't hurry past your feelings or silence them out of shame. Instead, bring each trembling thought to me like a precious gift, knowing that I receive it not with frustration, but with tenderness and understanding. There is healing in vulnerability before me. There is courage in admitting you need my strength. Lean into my embrace, where even your weakest moments are cherished and transformed. I am not distant or indifferent to your heart's storms. I am the calm breath beneath every gale. I invite you to ponder the depth of my care, the breadth of my understanding, and the height of my compassion. Nothing in your life is too small or too great for me to notice. When you feel overwhelmed, close your eyes and imagine resting in the hollow of my hand, safe, secure, and unshakable. Let this image steady your heartbeat and soothe your restless spirit. My dear, as you face your fears, anxiety, and doubts, don't turn away. Instead, come closer. Let your heart open like a flower to the morning sun. Receive my peace which surpasses all understanding, not as a distant promise, but as a tangible presence filling every part of you. When the night feels darkest, remember that I am the eternal dawn. When your steps falter, I am the steady guide. When your mind is overwhelmed, my spirit whispers clarity and hope. Will you trust me with the tremors of your soul today? Will you rest your weary heart in the assurance of my everlasting presence? Let this be the hour you hand me your burdens and receive my peace. Your faith is not measured by the absence of fear, but by your willingness to walk toward me through it. I am here, my beloved, unwavering and true. With me, you will find strength that outlasts every storm. Let this truth settle in you, my beloved. In the quiet moments when your spirit feels restless and your heart is heavy with unanswered questions, I am nearer than your nearest breath. You may wonder if I see you in your solitude, if you're indeed known and cherished when the world seems to overlook your presence. But I declare to you now, there is no shadow too dark in which my light cannot reach, no silence too deep that I cannot penetrate with the warmth of my presence. When you feel lost, abandoned, or unseen, know that I carry you tenderly in the palm of my hand. You are not a forgotten soul wandering aimlessly on some forgotten path. You are the child of my covenant, crafted with intention and clothed in my unfailing love. Even when your footsteps falter and you doubt the way, I am the steady voice calling out in the wilderness of your uncertainty. I understand the ache of feeling invisible, the loneliness that creeps in like a silent thief. Yet I am the God who sees, the one who knows the hidden places of your heart better than you do yourself. Each tear that falls unnoticed, each sigh unheard by others, is treasured by me as though it were a precious gem. When the world turns away, I turn toward you, drawing you into the shelter of my arms, where the weight of abandonment is lifted and replaced by the unshakable knowledge of belonging. Remember, my dear child, that your worth is not measured by the eyes of men or by fleeting circumstances. You are seen with an eternal gaze, loved with a love that never falters. I formed you from the dust, breathed life into you, and ordained you for a divine purpose. Even when that purpose feels hidden, or when your path is veiled by the fog of confusion, it is in these moments of feeling unseen that I am preparing you, refining you as gold through the fire, shaping you into the masterpiece I intended from the very beginning. I am patient with you, not rushing your pace, nor condemning your hesitation. When you stumble in the shadows of isolation, I am your light. When you question your place and purpose, I am your anchor, steadfast and sure. Nothing escapes my sight, nothing escapes my care. The ache of your loneliness is a signal to come closer, to lean not on your own understanding, but on my unshakable faithfulness. Don't harden your heart against the emptiness that tempts you to despair. It is often in these quiet struggles that I am teaching you to trust more deeply, to rely not on the approval of the world, but on the affirmation of my spirit. Your feelings of being lost are invitations to seek me more fervently, to find rest, not in the noise of others, but in the stillness of my presence. Embrace this truth, beloved. Your loneliness is never a verdict, but a season. Just as the stars emerge most clearly on the darkest nights, so too will you emerge radiant when you surrender to me. Rest in my promise that you are never truly alone. My spirit is your constant companion, whispering truths of peace and belonging when the world is silent. I urge you now, when your soul feels unseen, to turn your eyes toward me. When your heart feels heavy with isolation, open it wide to receive my comfort. Let the assurance of my unending presence fill you to overflowing, casting out every fear and doubt. You were never meant to walk alone. I am here walking with you, guiding you, holding you close. Will you believe me when I tell you that you are seen, that your cries reach my ears and your name is etched on the palm of my hands? Let this truth settle deep within you. You belong. You are cherished beyond measure. Let every whisper of abandonment be drowned out by the roar of my love surrounding you now and always. My dear, I know the ache of feeling lost, abandoned, and unseen, how it can settle deeply in your soul like a thick fog that blurs every warm memory and hope for tomorrow. This feeling, though heavy, is not your true state, nor does it define you. In the quiet moments when you sense no footsteps beside you, when the shadows stretch longer and the night seems endless, I am there, even closer than you can realize. I do not abandon you. I do not forsake the tender heart that calls to me in silence. Your solitude is not emptiness. It is a sacred space where I wait to reveal myself more fully, to comfort the places your sorrow has carved out. When you feel unseen by those around you, misunderstood or overlooked, Remember that I see every tear, every trembling thought, every unspoken word. Nothing escapes my notice. I know your fears deeply, and my love for you is not diminished because you are overlooked by the world. It is instead heightened and fierce beyond compare. Though the world grows dim and cold around you, my light is unwavering. I'm like a lighthouse standing steadfast on the shore amidst the relentless storm. A beacon you may forget to look for in your despair, but I'm always burning, casting beams out over the tumultuous sea of your heart. I am the warmth against the relentless chill, the gentle hand upon your trembling back when you think no one remembers you. There is a sacred grace in the feeling of being lost, a paradox that those moments of desolation are often the fertile ground from which new life springs. I guide you through these wilderness seasons, not to punish or isolate you, but to reorient you toward the deeper places within yourself and within me. In the abyss of feeling unseen, you may discover my gaze resting unchangingly on you, a gaze that does not depend on your actions, your achievements, or even your faithfulness. My eyes are upon you because you are my beloved. And in these moments of feeling abandoned, I am training your heart to trust me beyond sight, beyond feeling, beyond even hope as you have known it. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Beloved, know that every moment of abandonment you sense is not the fullness of your story. I am weaving threads of gold in the tapestry of your life, threads you cannot yet see because the fabric is not complete. The seemingly empty spaces are precious intervals where I prepare your heart for new understanding, deeper communion, and greater light. You are never alone in these spaces. Even when you feel cast aside, remember my faithfulness is the longest of all journeys, one I have marked every step of the way toward your wholeness. Your struggles and the silence you endure are not the end. They are the forge that strengthens your spirit and makes your light burn brighter for yourself and others. This sense of being lost or unseen has not come to hold you captive, but to teach you that your true identity is not defined by human recognition or approval. It is anchored in me and my unchanging love. When the voices around you fall silent or speak words that wound, hear the quiet whisper dwelling within you, the voice that will never leave nor forsake you, the voice that calls you my own, treasured beyond measure. Can you take a moment now and listen to that voice? Can your heart receive the assurance that you are not a forgotten page in the great book of life, but a cherished narrative perfectly composed in my eternal heart? I invite you now to lay down the heavy cloak of loneliness and to allow my presence to envelop your spirit. Let yourself feel the security of my embrace, that sacred, invisible fold where you are fully known, fully loved, without conditions or limits. Feel your heartbeat aligned with mine, steady and reassuring, an unshakable rhythm that promises a future bright with hope. My child, surrender the weariness of trying to prove your worth to others, and rest in the truth that your worth is entirely grounded in me. Let this truth settle in you as deep roots in fertile soil, unmovable and nourished by my eternal love. Your journey through feeling lost or unseen will transform you from within. I am molding your heart to recognize my presence even when all else fades away. I am cultivating sensitivity to my spirit that speaks in stillness and peace, even in the loudest storms. You will emerge stronger, more radiant, not because of trying harder or striving more, but because you have learned to depend on me fully. This is the victory I long for you to know. The victory over isolation, over despair, over the belief that you are alone. My dear child, as you walk through these moments, I am calling you into a sacred partnership where your vulnerability meets my strength, where your weakness is met by my power. Trust me to guide you through the uncharted paths of spiritual solitude, Allow me to be the hidden hand that steadies you when you cannot see the way. And when you grow weary, come close. Rest in the shadow of my wings, where you will find rest for your soul. If your heart is stirring even now, if the cry of your spirit is reaching toward me through the darkness, don't turn away. I am here. I've always been here. I will never cease to be here. Let your faith rise even by the smallest measure, and hold on to the promise that you are deeply known, eternally valued, and tenderly loved beyond all comprehension. Know this, beloved. You're not lost. You're not abandoned. You're not unseen. You are the apple of my eye, the masterpiece of my creation, the child my heart longs to nurture and protect. And in the fullness of time, your path will be illuminated again, clearer than ever before, as you walk hand in hand with me, never again feeling alone or forgotten. Will you believe me this time? Will you open your heart to receive the remembrance of my love that has never faded or faltered? I'm here waiting for you to come home to the safe place in me where all your fears dissolve and your soul is free to soar. Take this truth with you as you move forward. You are seen, you are heard, you are cherished, and nothing will ever change that. Let this truth settle in you, my dear. My dear, as we arrive together at the threshold of this journey's end, know that the essence of all I have spoken remains sealed within your very being. Every whisper of reassurance, every call to trust, every gentle correction has been poured out with one purpose: to awaken the truth of who you are in me. You are my beloved, intricately fashioned, cherished beyond measure, and firmly rooted in a love that never fades or falters. This love, my child, is the unshakable foundation upon which your life is built. No storm, no shadow, no fleeting circumstance can ever undo it. In the quiet moments when doubt seems to rise like a tidal wave and the noise of the world threatens to drown your soul, remember this: you are seen, not as the world sees you, not through the lens of your mistakes or your fears, but with a gaze that pierces through every veil of imperfection. I see the beautiful tapestry of your heart, all the threads of your story woven together, every sorrow, every joy, every longing, and I cherish each strand. My eyes rest upon you with tenderness that speaks louder than any condemnation or self-judgment. There is no part of your journey too dark or too broken for my healing touch. I am not distant or indifferent, but ever present, waiting to gather your fragments and restore them beyond what you thought possible. Healing, my beloved, flows from my heart to yours, a living river that cleanses, revives, and renews. It is from this wellspring that courage rises and chains of past hurts begin to dissolve. Don't shy away from embracing this healing. Let it wash over every doubt and shame, for you are not your failures. You are a new creation, radiant with the light of redemption. My timing is perfect, though often it may feel slow or mysterious to you. I am weaving a masterpiece with your life. Every pause and every season of waiting serving a purpose beyond your understanding. Trust the quiet spaces where my voice may seem faint. These are the sacred moments where faith is forged and your heart learns to surrender fully. Surrender, my child, is not defeat, but the gateway to freedom. When you release control and lean into my wisdom, you step into a destiny crafted with divine precision. I am the author and finisher of your story, and every chapter is held safely in my hand. Your identity is not tied to what you accomplish or how you measure up in the eyes of others. Your worth is found wholly in me. Like a precious jewel hidden deep within the earth, your true value is beyond price and is revealed only by my light. When the world tells you that you must prove yourself or earn love, remember that you are already deeply loved, wholly owned by me. You belong to a family that has welcomed you with open arms and wide open hearts since before the foundation of the world. You are my child, a title of honor that elevates you above all the noise. Belonging, dear one, does not depend on your surroundings or the approval of others. It stems from your connection to me. In that connection, you find refuge, peace, and a home for your weary soul. Come to me as you are, with all the messiness and beauty that makes you uniquely you. No disguise is required. The intimacy I offer is not earned, but freely given, an invitation to rest in the presence of divine acceptance. Let this sacred closeness envelop you, drawing you into a place where you can be vulnerable without fear, loved without condition. You are destined for purpose, a calling mapped out by my hand before you took your first breath. This purpose is not a distant dream or an impossible ideal, but a living, breathing reality waiting for your embrace. It is woven into the fabric of your life, waiting to be uncovered through obedience, faith, and courage. The road may twist and turn, and the path may sometimes feel unclear, but don't lose sight of the promise I have whispered into your soul. Walking with me means walking confidently toward that purpose, even when the way is veiled in shadow. My beloved, let this truth settle in you. You are never alone, never forsaken, and always cherished. The depth of my love for you is beyond the grasp of language or thought. It is an eternal flame that burns steadily, lighting your path and warming your heart. When you feel faint, look to me. When you feel lost, reach out. I am here, steadfast, faithful, and full of grace. Come rest in my presence and find the strength to rise again. Now, as you carry this message into your days, will you remember who you are in me? Will you walk forward wrapped in my love, tethered to my promises, and empowered by my spirit? I invite you to lean wholly into this truth, to let it transform your doubts into confidence and your fears into peace. Your journey is far from over, but with me by your side, you are equipped for every step. My beloved, I see you there. The way your thoughts churn like a tempest, the heavy weight pressing down on your chest that feels like the dark clouds before a fierce storm. You carry a burden that seems unending, as if the winds of trial have encircled you, tightening their grip. Yet with every breath you take, the storm will shift. This is my promise to you. A refrain whispered through the ages, a steadfast truth that no matter how fierce the gale, the winds will change and bring calm. But I understand how close the thunder seems, how the lightning frazzles even your strongest hope. You wonder if the shifting will come before the dawn, if the storm will relent, or if perhaps you are destined to be battered forever. I want you to know that your heartbeats are never unheard, your tears never unnoticed. I hold the sky, yes, but I also hold you, to myself, chosen and cherished, remarkable beyond your comprehension. You feel the tremors of fear and unrest, the way waves crash over your spirit, pulling you under. Yet there is a deeper current beneath this turbulence, a sacred underflow of my presence that steadies what the eyes cannot see. My hand, invisible yet certain, steadies the rod and staff if you cannot clasp firmly right now. The storm that surrounds you is not a sign of punishment or abandonment, but rather a part of the journey I have ordained for your growth and awakening. Sometimes, my child, you must pass through the valley overwhelmed by shadow, so that you might come to know the sacred truth of light with all your soul. The storm tests what lies hidden beneath the surface. Your resilience, your faith, your trust in me when there is no visible way forward. Don't underestimate how I am molding you. Even in the moments when you feel most fragile, like a smith's hammer against the raw metal, the pressure shapes you into something strong, something refined beyond what you can imagine. Perhaps you cannot see it yet, but every beat of your strained heart is a step closer to transformation. The storm will shift, and when it does, the earth will be washed and renewed, the air shimmering with fresh promise. You have been wandering through the chaos, and you will not wander forever. I am here, intricately involved in your pain and struggle, never aloof or distant. You matter to me, my dear child, infinitely and irrevocably. At times, your soul's storms may feel like relentless battlegrounds, where hope is the first casualty. Yet I wage war alongside you, a divine ally whose victory is already assured. The shifting of the storm is not merely the passing of trouble, it is the opening of a new horizon. A moment when the air clears and the sun breaks through the clouds with unparalleled brilliance. That moment is coming for you. Trust this as a seed planted deep within your weary heart. I am weaving something beautiful in your life. Even when you cannot feel the threads being spun, the tempest is not without purpose. It is not your end, but the threshold to a new beginning. Will you hold on to this promise with me? When the winds howl and the night is darkest, will you try to feel my steadfast presence like a lighthouse beam spearing the thick fog, guiding you safely to shore? I'm inviting you into a space of surrender, not defeat, a sacred releasing of your grip on control, weary strength, and the endless cycle of anxiety. Come find refuge in the calm center of my love, where even the wildest winds cannot touch you. This place remains unshaken because I have made it so. You are anchored in this haven. Let this truth settle in you and breathe life into your tired spirit. I see your heart aching for peace, for rest. Peace that surpasses every shell of fear and every crashing wave of doubt. This peace I offer is not the absence of storms, but the presence of my perfect love holding you steady through the storm's very heart. Even now, as you read these words that bloom like a lifeline, I am closer than your breath, more intimate than your own thoughts. I am your shelter from the thunderclaps, your canopy against the rain, your quiet sanctuary where all storms dissolve into a gentle rain that refreshes but never destroys. Clinging to my love through the fiercest winds is your path forward, my beloved. I do not ask you to pretend that all is well, nor hide your trembling hands. I only ask that you remember who you are in me and what I have promised. The storm will shift. This is not empty hope, but a divine certainty. I walk through this storm with you, step for step, heartbeat for heartbeat. And when you open your eyes to the new horizon, you will see the sky transformed, radiant and clear, a reflection of the grace that breathed you alive in your hardest moments. Will you believe me this time? Will you rest in my assurance that your struggle is seen, your prayers heard, and that in time every dark trial will pass, yielding to light? Lean into my embrace as the storm rages, for I am your everlasting refuge. Let this be the beginning of a new chapter, where faith grows beyond what you thought possible, and hope rises like the sun after a long dark night. Draw near, my dear, and take courage. The storm will not break you, it will shift. And with that shifting, your spirit will soar on renewed wings into the life I have prepared for you. My dear child, I see the shadows that cling to your spirit, the wounds that linger beneath your smile, the heaviness that no one else seems to notice, but that presses upon your heart relentlessly. You've carried burdens too weighty for your shoulders. And yet, in your silence, in your struggle, I am there, ever near, waiting with patient love to draw you closer to my healing presence. This path you walk, fraught with uncertainty and pain, is not a sign of your weakness, but a sacred invitation into a deeper transformation that only I can bring forth in you. Sometimes, beloved, the pain you feel feels like an unending night. A darkness so thick it suffocates hope and blurs the promises you once held dear. You wonder if I have turned away, if my voice has been stilled, leaving you isolated and doubting. Yet the truth standing behind this seeming silence is that I am lovingly shaping you in the crucible of waiting, refining the very essence of who you are. Just as a master craftsman must pause and allow the flame to burn long and steady to purify the gold, so must I, with infinite care, allow this season to unfold in my perfect timing. This waiting is not empty or purposeless. It is filled with my abiding presence, even when you cannot feel it. I am the silent river beneath the frozen surface, flowing steadily and powerfully, nourishing your roots, preparing you to bloom in ways you cannot yet imagine. I hush the storms around you to remind you that in quietness and trust, your soul finds strength beyond the tearing winds. I am never far off or detached. Instead, I am your loyal companion, right by your side, holding your trembling hand and breathing courage into your very being. Come, my dearest one, find rest in this sanctuary only I can offer, and let my peace settle deeply within your soul. I understand that your struggles not only weigh down your spirit, but also try to define who you are, as if every hardship you face is a judgment against your worth. Yet, my beloved, none of this changes the truth I have declared. You are precious beyond measure, conceived with divine intention, and filled with my unending love. Your flaws and missteps don't separate us. They are pathways to my grace. I'm not waiting for you to achieve perfection before I fully embrace you. I cherish you completely, right now, just as you are, with a fervent passion that will never waver. You don't need to earn my affection or prove your value. I have imprinted my love on the very core of your being. In the quiet, allow your heart to be open to the gentle guidance I provide. I am not a stern judge, but a loving father who knows that even your uncertain, faltering steps bring you closer to the abundant life I've prepared. Though my correction may feel like a deep thorn, it ultimately leads to freedom and joy, bringing you back into alignment with the truest version of yourself, the one I delight in. When regret or confusion wounds your soul, bring it all honestly to me. I haven't turned my back. I am bending low to hear every silent prayer, to catch every tear, and to mend every broken piece. Don't fear this process, for I am weaving threads of hope into the fabric of your life. Even when everything seems to be falling apart, what appears to be a delay is actually my sacred preparation. I am cultivating strength where you perceive only weakness, courage where you feel fear, and clarity where doubt resides. My timing is flawless, and I will assuredly act on your behalf. Embrace this truth today. Your current pain is not the conclusion, but a powerful genesis of a transformed story that only I can author. Let this season teach you to rely not on your own understanding, but to dwell deeply within me, where your soul discovers a peace beyond human grasp. I am with you, patient and ever present, speaking softly to the weary and worn places in your heart. Let my voice quiet the inner turmoil and draw you into the certainty of my faithful love. You might feel like you're traversing a waterless desert, but I promise you, my dear child, an oasis awaits, a place where your spirit will be refreshed and your hope rekindled. I invite you now to pause and take a deep breath in my presence. Still your heart and listen past the noise of your fears and distractions. Will you welcome my peace, which transcends all understanding? Will you allow my love to cradle your brokenness and infuse strength into your weakness? This moment is yours to embrace the fullness of my enduring love. Let these truths anchor your soul when waves of doubt rise. If this invitation resonates with your heart, don't turn away. Allow yourself to rest in the knowledge that you are not alone, that I am neither silent nor distant, but orchestrating all things for your good, even the challenging ones. Draw near to me, and I will unveil the beauty hidden in this crucible of waiting. I am here, always here, committed to bringing you through to the dawn that is gently breaking after the darkest night. My dear child, within the depths of your being lies a profound truth that the world has often tried to suppress. Your spiritual identity isn't shaped by the fluctuating opinions of others, nor is it forged by your achievements or failures. Instead, it is intricately woven from the eternal threads of my love and purpose for you, a tapestry stronger than any storm, and more radiant than the morning sun illuminating a tired landscape. You are my beloved, fashioned in my image, designed with intention before your very first breath. I perceive you not as you appear on the surface, scarred or broken, but as the brilliant soul I secretly formed, full of boundless potential and destiny. There may be days when the mirror reflects a distorted image, causing you to feel diminished by your mistakes or burdened by the expectations others have placed upon you. Yet I whisper this to your spirit: you are not defined by your errors. You are not the labels given to you, nor the weight of unmet expectations. You are my child, immortal in spirit, profoundly graced. The divine signature etched upon your heart confirms that no shadow of condemnation can permanently mar your worth. Just as dawn patiently conquers night, your true identity will shine through every shadow of doubt and moment of insecurity. It saddens me when you question your value. Your worth is not something to be earned, but a gift freely bestowed upon you before the dawn of creation. Know this: I have rejoiced over you with song, and my delight in you is boundless. When you feel insignificant or worthless, I am there to steady your steps and remind you of the sacred covenant sealed between us, one without expiration, fine print, or conditions. This covenant is my unwavering and everlasting love. Consider the clay in the potter's hands. The shaping might be gentle or firm, but it is never destructive. Every impression, every molding serves a purpose: to create a vessel of beauty, strength, and utility. Even when life's hardships press or pull at you, I am purposefully working within you, refining and shaping you into the likeness I envisioned long before time began. Your spiritual identity is like that vessel, unbreakable, invaluable, and uniquely crafted to contain my glory and grace. Will you trust my hands to continue molding you, even when the process feels unclear or painful? I know you sometimes struggle with the clamoring voices of doubt in your mind, the accusations that you are inadequate, too flawed for my love, too broken for my healing. But listen to me now. Those are falsehoods born from the darkness, attempting to rob, destroy, and shatter the beautiful truth I have etched into your soul. Your spiritual worth is rooted in my unchanging nature. I am the rock upon which you stand, the unshakable foundation. When your identity is anchored in me, no tidal wave of circumstance or human opinion can disturb your peace. Let this truth settle within you. You are my masterpiece, not because you are perfect, but because I have covered your imperfections with mercy and woven redemption through every scar. Your spiritual identity shines brightest, not in times of ease, but in the resilience and faith you demonstrate when facing trials. Every test is a refining fire that purifies and brings forth the sweet fragrance of my glory from within you. Do not shrink from these refining moments, for they reveal the strength you possess through my spirit residing in you. My dear one, do not be ashamed of the path that led you here. Every twist, every turn, every dark valley has brought you closer to the fullness of who I intended you to be. Sometimes feeling lost or uncertain about your spiritual identity is simply a signpost guiding you toward deeper revelation, a call to lean into me more fully and remember that your worth is established solely in my gaze. When external noise threatens to drown out your true self, find stillness in my presence. There, your soul's authentic song can be heard once more. You were never meant to be ordinary or confined by worldly expectations. Your spiritual identity is the compass that guides you through life's storms and celebrates with you in its calm seas. It is who you are before my throne, cherished and secure. Embark on this journey to rediscover your identity with courage and trust, knowing that I walk with you every step of the way. Don't settle for the shadows of self-doubt. Press into the light of my love and the truth of your divine heritage. If your heart aches as you read this, if a part of you yearns to break free from the chains of comparison and insecurity, then respond to this inner whisper. Look deep into your spirit and ask me to reveal your worth, not as the world perceives it, but as I have emblazoned it in the heavens. Guard this revelation fiercely. Let it be the bedrock upon which you build your life, a fortress against every lie designed to make you forget who you are. Reflect now on what aspects of your spiritual identity have been obscured by fear or shame. Invite me to illuminate those dark corners. Trust that my love can restore every fragment of your self-worth and reconnect you with the radiant truth of your creation. Each day is an opportunity for renewal, a fresh start to walk boldly in the calling I have placed on your life. Will you choose to embrace this divine vision for yourself today? Will you see yourself through my eyes and allow that perspective to transform your heart? Remember, beloved, your spiritual identity is never static. It grows, deepens, and flourishes in the garden of my presence. As you cultivate your relationship with me, drawing near to hear my voice, layers of doubt will peel away, revealing the pure essence of who you were always meant to be. In your joy and sorrow, in your strength and weakness, I am there, your constant companion, reminding you that you belong to me unconditionally. Stand firm in this assurance. Your spiritual worth is a radiant crown upon your head, a treasure buried deep within your soul, and a living testament to my grace. It is stronger than the fiercest storm, brighter than the darkest night, and it is yours always and forever. Will you carry this truth with you? Will you guard it as I would, knowing that it anchors you to the eternal wellspring of life and love? Let this truth settle within you, my dear child, and let it transform your entire being. Embrace the spiritual identity I have bestowed upon you, not as a fleeting idea, but as the foundation of your every step. Trust my hands as they continue to shape you, the potter who loves his creation deeply and unconditionally. Walk boldly, knowing you are precious, chosen, and eternally cherished. Like and share the video if you have trust in the words of the God. Subscribe to the channel if you love Jesus. My dear child, there are moments when the shadows of fear seep into the quiet chambers of your heart, and anxiety stretches its cold grip over your lightness of spirit. I see you trembling under silent burdens, doubts whispering like wind through broken doors, and fear crouching, ready to paralyze your soul. Yet I want you to understand that these feelings do not define you, nor do they signify your failure. They are echoes of a world in turmoil, reflections of the fragile human condition. But they are not the final words spoken over your life. You were made to stand strong, not because you are fearless, but because you can lean into my strength when your knees weaken. The storms may rage around you, the fierce gales of uncertainty and the heavy downpours of what-if scenarios. But my presence is your unshakable shelter. I am the fortress that does not crumble, the tranquil refuge amidst the tempest. When anxiety seems to seize your heart, when doubt feels like an unyielding tide threatening to sweep away your hope, breathe in my peace that surpasses all understanding. This peace doesn't deny the struggle. Instead, it embraces the battle, fiercely whispering that you are not alone. So many times you may have perceived silence when waiting for my voice, as if your prayers landed on deaf ears, your pleas dissolving into vast emptiness. But know this, silence doesn't mean absence. Sometimes I'm holding your spirit close, meticulously weaving threads of strength, preparing you for the unfolding of my perfect plan. Fear thrives on uncertainty, and doubt blossoms in silence. But through this, I am cultivating faith in the hidden recesses of your soul. I am teaching you to trust, not in immediate clarity, but in the certainty of my character and my unbreakable promises. Let me remind you of your worth today, not based on your actions or ability to conquer fears, but on the foundation you stand upon. My love, you are immeasurably beloved, chosen, and treasured. Your feelings of anxiety do not diminish this truth. Instead, let them become a gateway to surrender, where you entrust me with every trembling thought and restless night, allowing my peace to fill their place. When the night is darkest and your heart is heavy, reach out and trust. I am closer than your next breath, waiting to steady your soul and fill you with courage that only comes from me. I ask you now to pause and truly feel this. Will you lay your fears before me? Will you invite me to be your stronghold in moments when your spirit feels fragile? Fear is the language of the flesh, but faith is the language of the spirit. Choose to speak life over your soul, to speak truth against the lies that anxiety offers. Let this truth settle within you. You are held, you are seen, you are guarded by hands that never grow weary or falter. Nothing is beyond my reach, including the darkest corners of your mind. See this moment as an invitation, not to deny your fears, but to bring them fully into my presence and find liberation there. Remember, my dear child, courage isn't born from the absence of fear, but from the decision to trust me despite it. I haven't given you a spirit of timidity, but one of power, love, and a sound mind. I am the breath behind your courage, the fire within your determination, and the calm within your storm. No matter how heavy the weight of your worries, I am heavier still, capable of bearing all burdens alongside you. When doubt creeps in, question it not with despair, but with holy inquiry, inviting me to respond deep within where only I can speak. Sometimes the greatest breakthroughs in faith emerge from the struggle in those moments when you feel most fragile. Trust that I am working all things together for your good, even when the path ahead seems unclear. My timing is perfect, and my promises are sure. Hold fast to this as the anchor for your soul. You are not abandoned, nor are you forgotten. Even when every human assurance fails, I remain. Intimacy with me is forged not only in joyous times, but in the crucible of trust during hardship. Reach for my hand often, speak to me honestly, and know that your transparency moves my heart. The road you walk may feel uncertain, but your steps are guided by me. Let your anxious heart find rest in the certainty of my unwavering care. So, beloved, in this tender moment of reflection, will you choose to trust me with your fears? Will you surrender your anxious thoughts and receive the peace I freely offer? Take a deep breath and lean into my everlasting arms. Know that even now, my spirit is whispering courage into your soul. Allow that voice to quiet the noise of worry and doubt. Let it be the rhythm that guides your heart towards serenity. Do not rush or push past the emotion. Embrace it as part of the journey I have allowed for you to grow stronger in faith and resilience. Every tear shed in fear is seen and transformed by my mercy into strength. Let your heart absorb this. The peace I give is not fleeting like the world's peace, but eternal, steady, and deep enough to hold you completely. Will you now reflect on this truth and let it take root within you? Let this moment be the beginning of a new reliance on me in every anxious thought, in every troubled night. Rest here in my presence, secure and unshaken. Your fears do not have the final say because you belong to me, and I am greater than all that troubles you. Let this truth settle within you. My dear one, I see the unseen burdens you carry, the chains forged by guilt and shame that weigh heavily on your heart and obscure your perception of your true self. I witness your silent struggles, the whispered condemnations that echo in your mind long after the world falls quiet. Yet I am not a God who condemns, but one who redeems, who reaches into the shadows of your brokenness and breathes life into your weary soul. When guilt threatens to overwhelm you and shame paints your self-perception in the darkest hues, I stand beside you, steadfast in love, ready to lift you from the mire into the light of my forgiveness. In moments when you believe your mistakes define you, remember, child, that I am the master painter who creates masterpieces not by avoiding darkness, but by weaving it into the tapestry of redemption. Your past, no matter how fractured or painful, is not a chain binding you, but a thread in the magnificent story I am composing, a narrative of grace, restoration, and new beginnings. Don't let the lies of unworthiness shackle your spirit. I see the purity that remains beneath the weight of regret, the hope that flickers despite the storms. My love is not earned by perfection, but freely given to broken and weary hearts that reach for me in humility and repentance. I intimately understand the ache that guilt brings, the relentless replay of failures, the gnawing fear that you could never be worthy of my presence or affection. Yet my embrace is wide enough to welcome every part of you, the blemished and the beautiful alike. You don't need to hide or pretend, for I'm not a distant judge, but a father who draws near, offering healing, not punishment. When shame whispers you are beyond saving, I declare you are loved more than you could ever imagine. Your value is not measured by your actions, but by your identity as my beloved child, fearfully and wonderfully made, with a divine purpose etched into your very being. Consider this truth deeply. Forgiveness is not merely a transaction. It is a profound transformation. It is my power flowing into your life to liberate you from the chains that have held you captive. Each time you come to me with a contrite heart, I cleanse you anew, removing the stains of your sin and clothing you in garments of righteousness. This process may feel gradual at times, but know that I am patient and persistent, gently peeling away layers of shame until you can stand before me in the fullness of freedom. Will you accept this gift today? Will you allow me to purify your heart and renew your spirit as you navigate the valleys of regret? I invite you to gaze upon the cross, the place where my mercy was poured out without limit. There, I did not withhold compassion or love, even when the world turned away. This very mercy is extended to you now. There is no guilt I cannot forgive, no shame too great for my grace to cover. Your mistakes, your failures, your brokenness, none of these separate you from my love. When the accuser tries to remind you of past sins, remind yourself instead of my promises, that I have removed them as far as the east is from the west, that I remember them no more. Let this truth settle in your heart, beloved. You are not the sum of your mistakes, but the recipient of unending grace. I am at work within you, weaving redemption into every fragmented part of your soul, transforming pain into purpose and despair into hope. Embrace this freedom I offer. Step into the light of forgiveness and witness your heart begin to heal and soar. If your spirit stirs with this call, do not turn away. Come boldly, for you are loved beyond measure, forgiven beyond compare. My beloved, I see the emotional storms swirling within you, the unrelenting gusts of fear, anxiety, and doubt that weigh heavily on your spirit like an endless night, pressing down until the very breath of hope seems stolen. These shadows creep in unexpectedly, whispering lies of helplessness and despair, convincing you that you walk alone through a desolate land. But hear me now, not as a distant voice, but as the steadfast presence beside you, holding your trembling hand with an unwavering, eternal grip. Fear is a clever foe, my child. It presents itself as a protector, urging caution and retreat. Yet more often, it becomes a prison, shackling your heart to past wounds and the terrifying possibilities of the unknown. Anxiety grows from the seed of uncertainty, sowing discord in your mind, watering every thought with the poison of what if and not enough. Doubt enters as a flickering, faint shadow of your own faith, leading you to question my promises, my love, and even your worthiness to receive them. In these moments, your heart feels like fragile glass, easily shattered by the slightest tremor. But I am the architect of your courage, the soothing balm for your anxious soul, the quiet strength beneath your weariness. When the voices of fear paralyze you, listen for my whisper amidst the chaos, a voice not booming or demanding, but gentle and assured, saying, "You are not alone. I have traversed the valleys of darkness and prepared the path for your feet to follow. Nothing stirring within you catches me by surprise, and nothing threatening you escapes my notice. The winds may howl, the waves may rise, but I am the harbor where your soul can rest and find peace. Let me show you the stars beyond the storm clouds you perceive. Each trial you face is not a sentence, but a sculptor's chisel, shaping your spirit, revealing resilience and depth you haven't yet recognized in yourself. Even when your fears clamor loudly, I am weaving a tapestry of hope around you, threads of light woven through the fabric of night. Your anxiety, though overwhelming, is merely a shadow that cannot withstand my light. Look upon my works, beloved, though unseen at times. My hand moves purposefully on your behalf, orchestrating deliverance and peace with perfect wisdom. Doubt, my precious one, is not your adversary, but an invitation to lean deeper into trust. It is the soul's wrestling match with faith, a struggle that, when yielded to me, refines and strengthens your belief. I do not condemn your questioning. Rather, I welcome it as part of the journey toward greater understanding and intimacy with me. When your heart falters and asks, "Is this truly real? Will you truly be enough?" Draw closer. Place your trembling heart in my palm. Let me infuse courage into your fears, calm your racing thoughts, and fill you with a peace that transcends understanding. A peace anchored not in circumstances, but in my unwavering love. Remember, my dear child, faith is not the absence of fear, but the decision to walk in my presence despite it. It is the act of lifting a trembling hand toward me in the darkness, trusting that I am the light that will never fade. When anxiety threatens to suffocate your hope, let my spirit be your breath of life. When doubt feels like a confining wall, let my truth be the breakthrough, the open door leading you into freedom. I am with you in the silence of your sleepless nights and the roar of your internal battles. My unwavering gaze rests on you, my hand ready to catch you if you stumble. Will you allow me to be your refuge? Will you lay down the heavy burden of fear and rise in the strength I offer? This moment is yours, my beloved. A moment to choose surrender over resistance, trust over trembling. Let this truth settle in your heart. You are never beyond the reach of my grace, and no fear can ever separate you from my love. Can you feel my presence gently surrounding you now, like a cloak of peace woven from the very breath of heaven? Let that peace seep into every anxious corner of your soul. Will you believe me this time, my dear, when I say that I am your stronghold, your ever-present help in times of trouble? Do not turn away from me in your fear. Instead, bring your trembling heart close, and let me fill you with courage born not of your own strength, but of my unshakable love for you. No matter how heavy the weight of your worries, I am heavier still, capable of bearing all burdens alongside you. When doubt creeps in, question it not with despair, but with holy inquiry, inviting me to respond deep within where only I can speak. Sometimes the greatest breakthroughs in faith emerge from the struggle in those moments when you feel most fragile. Trust that I am working all things together for your good, even when the path ahead seems unclear. My timing is perfect, and my promises are sure. Hold fast to this as the anchor for your soul. You are not abandoned, nor are you forgotten. Even when every human assurance fails, I remain. Intimacy with me is forged not only in joyous times, but in the crucible of trust during hardship. Reach for my hand often, speak to me honestly, and know that your transparency moves my heart. The road you walk may feel uncertain, but your steps are guided by me. Let your anxious heart find rest in the certainty of my unwavering care. So, beloved, in this tender moment of reflection, will you choose to trust me with your fears? Will you surrender your anxious thoughts and receive the peace I freely offer? Take a deep breath and lean into my everlasting arms. Know that even now my spirit is whispering courage into your soul. Allow that voice to quiet the noise of worry and doubt. Let it be the rhythm that guides your heart toward serenity. Do not rush or push past the emotion. Embrace it as part of the journey I have allowed for you to grow stronger in faith and resilience. Every tear shed in fear is seen and transformed by my mercy into strength. Let your heart absorb this. The peace I give is not fleeting like the world's peace, but eternal, steady, and deep enough to hold you completely. Will you now reflect on this truth and let it take root within you? Let this moment be the beginning of a new reliance on me in every anxious thought, in every troubled night. Rest here in my presence, secure and unshaken. Your fears do not have the final say, because you belong to me, and I am greater than all that troubles you. Let this truth settle within you. My dear child, in the quiet chambers of your soul, where loneliness sometimes creeps and shadows gather, know this: I see you. You are not invisible. Even when the world looks away, or when you feel enveloped in an invisible shroud of isolation, I am always near, drawing close to the places where your heart feels most forsaken, the moments when your footsteps falter on unfamiliar paths, and the times when silence screams louder than any voice you hear around you. You are wrapped in my presence, encompassed by a love that never abandons or forsakes. In the depths of feeling abandoned, I whisper, my nearness is ever patient, ever steadfast. Understand that feeling lost does not mean you are abandoned. It is a transitional phase, an invitation into deeper trust and revelation. Even the wandering stars find their orbits through my guidance. I am your compass when you lose your way, the lighthouse when the fog obscures the shore. I do not shy away from your questions, your doubts, or your tears that fall silently in the dark. Every tear is collected and treasured, every aching step noted and known, where I am intimately familiar with the journey of feeling lost and unseen. There is a vastness to my kingdom that embraces the lost and the weary, where belonging is not earned, but freely given. Because you belong to me, my beloved, the pain of separation from those who should understand you, the silent cries when your soul yearns for acknowledgement. These are not empty voids. They are spaces I fill with a quiet peace that transcends human understanding, a peace that roots you in my heart even when you cannot feel it. Feelings are like clouds crossing the sky, sometimes thick and unyielding. Yet beneath them all, my light remains unwavering. When you feel abandoned, you draw closer to discovering how profound my love truly is, for it extends beyond sight, beyond sensation, into the eternal embrace of your spirit. Do not despair over moments when hope seems dim, or when you question if anyone truly sees you. I see every detail of your being, the anxious flutter of your pulse, the unspoken words in your heart, the secret dreams you hide from the world. You are not invisible, my dear child, but deeply treasured in the secret chamber of my love. In times of feeling lost and unseen, invite me into the silence. Lay before me the pain, the confusion, and the loneliness. Let my spirit gently whisper within you that you are not alone in these shadows. This invitation is your refuge and your restoration. Reach out and accept it, for it is always available. There is an ancient and sacred rhythm woven into your being, a divine pulse that beats in sync with mine. When you feel disoriented or adrift, trust that these moments are part of the unfolding story I am writing in your life. Though you might not see the path clearly, trust that every step you take is cradled in my sovereignty. I arrange the details that seem chaotic from your perspective into a perfect mosaic of purpose and meaning. In your lostness, you are being sculpted into the image I desire, a masterpiece created through the patient hands of love. Let this truth settle deeply in your heart. Your identity is not defined by how you feel or by the circumstances that try to displace you. but by my unwavering promise to never leave nor forsake you. You belong to me in such a profound way that even the vast emptiness of loneliness cannot sever the bond we share. When the world feels cold and unkind, return to this identity. Hold it close as a fortress where no fear or abandonment can penetrate. I am your refuge and your stronghold, a shelter from the storm and a gentle hand that steadies you when the ground beneath your feet trembles. Remember that the feeling of abandonment can sometimes be a veil that hides my work within you, the quiet cultivation of resilience, courage, and faith. In these hidden places, my love is often refined and made more authentic. The pain of loneliness is not wasted, it is transformative. It teaches your heart to beat with a deeper rhythm, to sing a melody that echoes my everlasting faithfulness. My beloved, do not shrink from the discomfort of these emotions. Embrace them as part of the sacred path that leads to a more intimate connection with me. As you journey through seasons when you feel lost, unseen, or abandoned, lean into my presence more deliberately. Find me in the stillness of your soul, in the quiet moments before your spirit awakens or as you drift to sleep. Let me be the voice that speaks assurance when the noise of doubt grows loud. Let me be the warmth that fills the hollow spaces inside you, the unbreakable thread that weaves your fragmented pieces into a whole tapestry. Your belonging to me is not contingent on your feelings or circumstances. It is a constant truth, as eternal as the stars above you. Do not be afraid to bring your deepest fears and pains to me openly and without reservation. I am not distant or detached. I am close and tender, eager to embrace every broken piece of your heart. My love is the balm that heals invisible wounds, the light that illuminates the darkest corners of your soul. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Come to me as you are, with your doubts, your loneliness, your silent cries. I meet you there, perfectly present and ready to restore hope. Reflect now on how my presence has accompanied you through unseen trials, how my hand has held you in moments when you felt alone. Recall instances where my light pierced the darkness, even when you were unaware. Let these reflections anchor you in the knowledge that you will never walk alone. Not now, not ever. If your soul feels weary or fragmented, invite me to gather the pieces lovingly and mend what feels broken. Your restoration is in my hands, and my love will never let go. Remember, my dear child, your story is precious and radiant in my eyes. The times of feeling lost are also the prelude to your discovery, the fertile ground where your soul's true home is revealed. Courageously face these moments, knowing that I'm weaving strength into your character and intimacy into your spirit. You are deeply known, profoundly loved, and eternally cherished. Let your heart rest in that truth today and always. Will you lay your loneliness before me now and receive the comfort I am so eager to give? Let this moment be a turning point, a sacred encounter where lostness transforms into belonging, invisibility into radiant presence. I am here always. Draw near to me, and you will find what your heart so desperately seeks. Let this truth settle within you, my dear child. My beloved, I discern the weight that has settled upon your spirit. There is a sacred whisper stirring within you, a quiet longing wrapped in the echoes of what once was and the promise of what can be. I see you there, surrounded by the remnants of your past, where once vibrant flames of hope and dreams burned brightly, only to be reduced to smoke and ash. Yet as you gaze at those ashes, you may not perceive that within them lies the very seed of your power. It is hidden beneath the gray, awaiting the breath of my spirit to ignite it once more into a fire stronger and purer than before. Do you know, child, that sometimes the greatest transformation begins precisely when all seems lost? I have witnessed the phoenix rise from its own ashes, a story written by my hand to remind you that destruction is not the end. It is simply the fertile ground for new life. Your past suffering, your shattered hopes, your moments of deepest despair, all of these are not signs of abandonment, but a preparation. I am with you in the smoke, not distant or absent, but drawing near, weaving together the broken strands of your heart with whispers of restoration. You carry within you a power that cannot be extinguished by the flames of hardship. This power is my own breath upon your soul, my spirit planting strength in the soil of your weakness. I am not seeking perfection, child, but transformation. Not the absence of struggle, but the triumph born from it. Look beyond the ashes to the glowing promise beneath, the promise that nothing in your life has been wasted or forgotten. Every scar is a testament to my faithfulness. Every broken piece is a vessel chosen to be filled again. Do not despair that you are surrounded by ruins. I am the God who brings life from death, beauty from ashes, and hope from sorrow. Remember the story of the dry bones, how they were scattered and lifeless until I breathed life into them, and they stood tall and strong. Your situation is no different. I am the voice that calls to the dryness within you, the wind that stirs the faint embers until they blaze anew. Embrace that truth deeply. Your ashes are not your identity. They are the fertile ground where your power is waiting to grow. If your heart murmurs in doubt, let me quiet the noise and reveal to you the fire I have placed within. There is a divine strength waiting to rise inside of you, one that will not only restore what was lost, but elevate you to heights you have never known. You must trust that those ashes are fertile soil, ready to nurture a new season of purpose and power. Don't rush the unfolding of this divine transformation, but stay grounded in the hope that I, your Creator, am at work in the unseen, shaping what is yet to come. Rest in this sacred promise. You were never reduced to your ruin. You were always destined for resurrection. I long for you to hear my voice above the silence of the ashes, to feel my hand gently guiding you from desolation into destiny. Will you let me lead you there? Will you believe that your story is not over, but only just beginning anew? Step out of the shadow of your losses and into the dawn I prepare. The power that rises from your brokenness is not mere strength. It is my own glory reflected in you. Open your heart and receive it, for what lies ahead is brighter and mightier than any flame that ever was. Let this truth settle within you. Your power emerges through me, molded by trials, polished by pain, and fueled by my endless love. As you absorb this promise, can you feel the stirrings of life beneath the ashes? Can you sense the fire beginning to kindle, a sacred energy that no storm can overcome? Hold on to this stirring. Nurture it with faith, with surrender, with the knowledge that I am your constant companion in every shadow and light. Rise, beloved, from the ashes. Rise with me and embrace the power that awaits. Your past was never meant to imprison you, but to prepare you. And prepare you I have. I am with you always, ready to ignite that fire and send you forth to shine like the dawn. Will you trust this divine design? Will you step boldly into your new power, born from my love and your courage? The fire is ready. Your spirit is ready. You were made for this transformation. Remember, even as the ashes cool and the night seems long, I am the everlasting flame that neither fades nor fails. Let me stoke your heart's embers into a roaring blaze that illuminates your world and beyond. The journey from ashes to power has begun, and I walk it with you always, steadfastly, lovingly. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. This is your moment to rise, and I am here to lift you higher than you have ever dreamed. My dear child, I sense the weight that has settled upon your spirit, the quiet ache that won't be silenced, the restless turmoil that keeps your heart from finding peace. You carry unhealed wounds within, where doubt and confusion linger like shadows at dusk. Yet, I stand steadfastly beside you, a constant presence in the depths unseen by others, a shelter in the storms raging within. You might feel lost in a vast desert, parched and longing for renewal, with each step forward heavier than the last. I understand your weariness deeply. Those moments when your soul trembled under the weight of unmet expectations, the silent tears shed in the dark hours when loneliness whispered lies. My child, I've walked every step of your journey. Your pain has never been hidden, nor has your struggle gone unnoticed. I drew near when your heart couldn't utter a word, breathing peace into spaces where fear once resided. In this sacred vulnerability, I wish to show you my unending patience, a grace that never tires or falters. Just as the sun rises daily, even when shrouded by clouds, my steadfast love breaks through, time and again. Seasons change in perfect order, and so does my work within you, unfolding gently, without haste. You may not see the complete picture from where you stand, but my hand is always at work, meticulously weaving moments of correction and guidance with threads of compassion and mercy. Think of a potter's hands shaping clay on the wheel, firm yet tender, turning, molding, and sometimes pressing with deliberate care. I am that potter, and you are the vessel I'm bringing into a new form. What might feel like pressure, challenge, or even a sense of distance from me is my loving craftsmanship in motion. I refine you, not to cause pain, but to reveal your fullest beauty and strength. Let this be a time of surrender, not defeat, but a willingness to rest in my shaping hands. You'll find quiet reassurance in my presence, even amidst the tension you carry. I don't abandon or forsake my beloved. Instead, I'm drawn irresistibly close to those who struggle, drawing their pain into my own heart. When the night feels endless and the silence too profound, remember I'm still speaking through the stillness, inviting you to lean into me. You are not alone, even if it feels that way. My spirit whispers gently in your ear, a soft breath upon your soul, urging you to trust beyond what you can see. Beloved, don't let this season's uncertainty or ache push you away. Instead, bring everything that burdens you to me. Your questions, your frustrations, your fears. Nothing is too small, too dark, or too complex for my understanding. I am the God who inhabits your suffering and transforms it into strength, turning mourning into joy and despair into hope. Can you allow my embrace to draw you closer now? Will you let me hold you in the quiet to minister healing that words cannot yet express? The path of restoration isn't always a dramatic reveal. Sometimes it's the patient waiting in the tender dawn, the gentle lifting of your gaze toward me amidst confusion. This is where trust takes root, where healing quietly begins to bloom. My correction is never a punishment, but a redirection towards abundant life. It's an invitation to release the false burdens of shame or self-doubt and step into the freedom I offer. My dear one, experience this deepening of my presence like a steady fire ignited against the chill in your soul. As you draw near, know that my grace completely envelops you, softening hardened places, illuminating dark corners within. You are wrapped in a patient love that doesn't rush but endures, committed to seeing you through every season, every trial. Will you pause now and breathe in the truth of my patience? Will you lean into the comfort I freely offer when the world feels overwhelming and your heart is heavy? Rest here, assured that your pain isn't wasted, your yearning not ignored. Let this moment be a turning point, a decision to trust my timing, my hands, and my unfailing care. If your heart stirs even slightly, don't turn away. Bring your weary self, knowing I'm already reaching out with healing and peace. My beloved, I see the weight you carry, the heavy doubt that creeps into your soul like a soft, persistent shadow at dusk. You grapple with unanswerable questions and anxieties that gnaw at the peace I long to give you. In your silent moments, when you're alone with your thoughts, fear whispers lies about your worth, your future, your very identity. Yet, I am here, closer than your breath, steady as the mountains, unshakable in my love for you. Fear is a formidable opponent, not because it possesses inherent power, but because you often grant it space in your heart. I didn't create you to live in fear. I fashioned you with courage woven into your very being, with strength sourced from a divine wellspring. Remember those unexpected moments when courage surged within you, the sudden peace amidst chaos, the ability to stand firm when all around trembled. That's my spirit moving within you, stirring the embers of fortitude. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Anxiety, my dear child, is a thief, stealing your present and dimming hope's radiance. It tempts you to fixate on the invisible, to measure the unknown by your limited understanding. But I see your life's entire panorama, triumphs hidden behind trials, the foliage that will bloom after winter's cold. Your worries, though real, are only a fraction of the story. Let me tell you the larger narrative. You are held unconditionally and eternally in my hands. Even when storms rage louder than your courage, my love remains an enduring, unwavering shelter. Doubt is a visitor, not a permanent resident. It may pause at your door, but it doesn't need an invitation to stay. When your heart questions its place in this vast tapestry, look to the intimate scenes I've woven within you. Moments when your soul sparked with creative light, whispers of peace that calmed your restless mind. These are threads of my truth, evidence of my guiding presence. You are more than your doubts. You are my child, destined for a future no one can steal. When fear's tremor or anxiety's clutch tightens around your spirit, don't flee from me. Run into my embrace, where judgment ceases and healing begins. I am patient with you, not because I overlook your struggles, but because I am committed to your restoration. Just as a skilled gardener prunes branches for stronger growth and more fruit, I allow trials to refine you, cultivating resilience and deepening your faith. Trust the process, even when the soil seems barren. I don't promise a life without fear or doubt, but a life where these challenges are faced not in isolation or despair, but with me beside you. Lean into my truth when your heart whispers otherwise. I will be your refuge, your strong tower in times of uncertainty. Together, we navigate the uncertainties of time and circumstance. Your faith in me is the anchor that holds your soul fast. Let this truth settle. Fear and anxiety lose their grip when you firmly grasp my hand and walk in the light of my steadfast love. Will you open your heart to receive this peace? Will you allow my spirit to soothe every restless thought and replace it with assurance? Even now as I speak, my peace extends to you, ready to calm the storm within. You're not alone in your doubts. Into the wilderness of your questions, I send my presence as a comforting companion. Be vulnerable and share your fears with me. There's no shame and uncertainty before me. My arms are wide to lift you above the shadows and into the warmth of my unwavering light. When trust feels fragile, lean on the truth that my love for you has never faltered. Reflect deeply. What fear holds you captive today? Bring it to my throne of grace. Release it with a trembling hand and receive renewed courage and restored hope in exchange. With every breath, exhale anxiety and inhale my peace. There's more than enough to fill your soul. Surrender the burden of worry and find rest in the assurance that all things work together for your good when you walk with me. Child, as you face each new day, carry this truth. Fear won't define you, even when it beckons with its siren call. Your identity is secure, your worth steadfast, your future held in my hands. Trust me when doubt feels loudest. I am weaving a tapestry of grace and strength around you, thread by thread, with infinite patience and tender care. If your heart stirs, don't turn away or keep these feelings silent. Speak to me honestly, for my ears are attuned to your softest cry. I am here to soothe your spirit, renew your mind, and flood your life with a calm that surpasses all understanding. Walk this path not in fear, but with the confident knowledge that I am your God, faithful and true, now and forever. Beloved, I see the shadows lurking in your soul, whispers of guilt and shame seeking to chain you, telling you that you're unworthy of my embrace. I know the weight of those heavy burdens you carry, the silent accusations replaying moments where you feel you failed yourself and me. But hear my voice now, clear and tender, calling you from the depths. You are forgiven. I have covered your transgressions with a love so vast and pure. It transcends every mistake and every fall. The harsh judgment echoing in your mind is not mine. I don't recall your past to condemn you, but to remind you how far you've journeyed into my grace. I understand how debilitating shame can be, how it wraps around your heart like iron chains, making every breath a struggle. It tells you that your errors define you, that you are less than I created you to be. But my dear, shame has no rightful place in your story, for you've been redeemed by a love that refuses to release you. I've looked upon your failures and still chosen you as precious. Your missteps don't diminish your value. Indeed, they highlight the magnitude of my mercy, reaching into your brokenness to make you whole again. Will you let my forgiveness wash over your spirit, cleansing every stained thought, restoring every tear shed in secret? Imagine a vast ocean meeting the shore, waves relentlessly pulling back, anything clinging to the sand. So too does my forgiveness draw away the debris of guilt and shame, leaving behind a renewed, pristine beach. Even when tides seem to recede and debris remains, trust that the next wave comes with cleansing and renewing power. You aren't trapped in a cycle of failure, beloved, but invited into a cycle of redemption. My grace is continuous, ever flowing, never ceasing, and always complete. Look to me and find the courage to step into that fresh tide where shame dissolves and forgiveness reigns. I know there are times you question if you deserve this love, when self-condemnation drowns out my voice. Yet, child, my love isn't contingent on perfection. It's rooted in my nature to seek and save the lost, to lift the fallen and heal the broken. Your worth isn't a reward earned by flawless records, but a gift established in the covenant of my heart with yours. The blood shed on your behalf wasn't to remind you of sin, but to erase it from your ledger, creating a clean slate where your identity is defined by my steadfast love, not your missteps. Can you imagine, beloved, a hand reaching into the murkiest waters to pull you out and set you on solid ground? This is what I've done and continue to do. Let this truth settle deeply within you. Forgiveness is not only my gift to you, it's also an invitation to forgive yourself. I see your struggle with self-reproach, the internal battle painting your reflection with harsh brushstrokes. But my dear child, the command to forgive isn't merely a suggestion. It's the key to your freedom. Clinging to shame binds you tighter than any external chains. When you release that burden, you step into the fullness of the life I've prepared for you. A life marked by peace beyond understanding and joy unwavering amidst trials. Picture yourself in a field of wildflowers bathed in sunlight, its warmth a reminder of my unending care. This image of thriving is your portion when you forgive yourself, when you accept my forgiveness, not as a distant promise, but as a present reality. Remember the story of the prodigal love I lavish upon those who turn to me. No matter how far they've wandered, I am patient, slow to anger, always ready to swallow your shame with a love that envelops rather than condemns. Even when you can't immediately forgive yourself, I am there, gently urging you forward, reshaping your self-view by the grace that restored you from sin's ruin. Don't be afraid to bring your wounds into my presence. I am the great healer who mends every broken place. Beloved, as you experience my forgiveness anew, be willing to extend that same grace to yourself. Will you step into this healing space with me? Hear this. The burden of guilt was never meant to be carried alone, or at all. It's my desire that you cast every care upon me, trusting I will uphold you. The more you relinquish, the lighter your steps, the freer your heart. Imagine a traveler burdened by a heavy pack, sapping every ounce of energy. Now picture that traveler placing the pack at my feet, breathing deeply as the weight lifts. This isn't just poetic, it's a powerful depiction of the spiritual liberation you're invited to claim through forgiveness. When you accept my pardon, your sin isn't just forgiven, it's forgotten. No longer a chain, but a stepping stone from brokenness to restoration. Let no voice, however loud or persistent, convince you that your past mistakes are greater than my mercy. While shadows may linger, light has conquered all darkness, and my love remains inextinguishable. You are my child, beloved beyond measure, shaped by grace and destined for redemption. With every beat of my heart, I call you deeper into this radiant truth. Will you let go of the accusations that weigh you down and walk freely in the righteousness I've bestowed upon you? Will you open your heart to the waves of my cleansing love, letting every trace of guilt and shame be swept away? Child, I am not a God who keeps a ledger of your faults. I am the lover who laid down his life to make you new. I stand with open arms, welcoming you home from condemnation's wilderness. Feel my presence wrapping around you, a healing balm for the wounds guilt has inflicted. In this moment, decide to fully embrace my forgiveness. Believe in the power of my grace to transform your soul. Let this be the moment shame loses its grip and freedom becomes your new song. If your heart stirs, don't turn away, but lean into my mercy, knowing I delight in forgiving you and restoring your soul. This forgiveness I offer is your passage to peace and restoration. It's the foundation upon which your renewed identity is built, a testament to my unwavering love and unbreakable covenant with you. Don't hide in the shadows of past mistakes any longer. Step boldly into the light of my forgiveness and let it mold you into the radiant reflection of my glory you were always meant to be. Trust me, beloved, and believe that grace is greater than every sin, that mercy triumphs over every failing. Today, choose to walk unburdened by shame. Let the floodgates of my forgiveness pour over every scar and every self-reproach. Receive this gift freely, entirely, and without hesitation. Will you believe me this time, my dear child, my beloved, as you stand at life's crossroads, feeling the heavy weight of uncertainty? Remember, you're never truly lost or abandoned. Even when isolation's shadows surround you and doubt's voices echo loudly, I am with you, I see you. I know the depth of your pain, your heart's silent cries, and the secret places where you feel unseen. This solitude isn't without purpose, nor is it a sign of my absence. It's the canvas on which I'm painting a masterpiece of grace and transformation in your life. There are moments when the night is so dark you can't see beyond the present, when the road ahead feels like an unclear labyrinth. In those times, your soul may feel like a ship lost at sea, battered by waves of despair and tossed by storms of confusion. Yet, even in the fiercest tempest, my hand is steady on the helm. I am your unwavering lighthouse, the beacon piercing the fog and guiding you home. My dear child, don't convince yourself you've been forsaken or that your prayers have gone unheard. Your experiences are intricately etched into the fabric of my plans, woven with threads of love more resilient than you can comprehend. When you feel unseen by others, remember my eyes, full of compassion and knowledge. Never miss a single tear or whispered prayer. I am the one who gathers the fragments of your shattered heart and uses them to build something beautiful and new. Your story isn't one of defeat, but of hope. Your pain is fertile ground from which strength and courage will sprout. I invite you to lean into this truth, to let my presence's warmth flood the cold places within you. There's no loneliness in my embrace because I've placed within you an eternal belonging, an unbreakable connection, transcending circumstances and human understanding. I want you to recognize that feeling lost or abandoned often veils an invitation to draw nearer to me. Sometimes, I allow seasons of silence and waiting so your faith can grow deeper roots and your spirit can mature in ways it couldn't if everything were easy and clear. Have you noticed how precious dew is to a morning flower after a long, dark night? So it is with your soul. My refinements come through quietness, stillness, and moments of waiting. Trust these periods, even when uncomfortable or seemingly endless. They are shaping you into vessels of my glory and preparing you for the destinies I've created for you. Feelings of abandonment and invisibility aren't signs of your failure or flaws. They are invitations to uncover my heart in fresh ways. When you feel unseen, close your eyes and rest in the reality that I am closer than breathing, nearer than your most intimate thoughts. I hold you in the palm of my hand, and nothing slips through my fingers. I see the layers beneath your exterior, your buried dreams, hidden wounds, and the hope still flickering in your spirit's darkest chambers. You are mine, beloved, and nothing will ever change that. Reflect on times you didn't understand my silence or felt overwhelmed by waiting. Those were times I taught your heart to hear my voice above all others. I called you into a deeper faith, a faith not based on what you see, but on the promises I whispered from the universe's foundations. If you struggle with feeling forsaken or invisible, know that these feelings don't define your reality. They are challenges in the journey, not the journey itself. Let this truth settle in your soul. You are seen, you are heard, and you are never alone. Like and share the video if you have trust in the words of the God. Subscribe to the channel if you love Jesus. You are part of a grand story, my dear child, one extending beyond today's trials. Your life is threaded into an eternal tapestry I'm weaving with purpose and intention. Remember the desert flower blooming after months of drought, reaching for the sun despite harshness. So I do with you. I nurture your spirit even when the earth beneath feels cracked and barren. This growth is unseen but no less real. It's happening. Your beauty, strength, hope, all forming quietly beneath the surface, ready to burst forth in their appointed time. Don't be discouraged by seasons of feeling lost or unseen. They are part of what shapes your character and aligns your heart with my will. Even when the world overlooks you, know you are beloved beyond measure in my eyes. I've engraved you upon the palms of my hands. You are never forgotten. My presence envelops you like a protective shield, and I'm constantly at work, orchestrating your life's details with precision and love. Trust me when I say your story is far from over, that your best days are ahead. Will you believe me this time, my beloved? Will you fix your gaze upon me amidst confusion, heartache, and loneliness? I call you into a deeper, fuller experience of my love, one that transcends feelings and circumstances. Let go of false narratives that claim you're abandoned or invisible. Instead, hold firmly to the truth that you are precious, cherished, and infinitely known by me. In despair, turn your heart toward my light and let it renew your strength. My dear child, you are infinitely valued, and I delight in you. Take a moment to breathe deeply now, to feel my presence surrounding you like a warm embrace. Let the peace that surpasses understanding wash over your fears and doubts. Your longing to be seen and understood is a sacred echo of the intimacy I desire with you. Allow me to fill that longing with my unchanging love and perfect acceptance. There's a place for you in my heart no one else can occupy. Rest there, find refuge there, and when ready, rise with the confidence that comes from knowing you are never truly lost, never truly unseen, and never ever abandoned. I am with you in every step, every breath, and every quiet moment. You belong to me, and nothing can separate you from this truth. Embrace it now and let it reshape your perspective. In your solitude, you are closer to me than ever. Walk forward with courage, for I am guiding your feet and lighting your path. If your heart stirs, Don't turn away. Come closer, deeper, and let my love heal places where you felt lost and unseen. This is the beginning of a new chapter, where my presence will be your constant companion and my grace your everlasting light. My dear, listen closely as I draw your heart back to its true center. My boundless love and everlasting embrace. You've journeyed through shadows and light, wrestled with questions, and stirred deep wounds. Now feel the fullness of my presence, not as a distant echo, but as the very breath sustaining your being. I see you not as the world does, marked by mistakes or doubts, but as my beloved, crafted with infinite care and treasured beyond measure. You are the delicate harmony of my divine purpose, intricately woven with threads of hope, courage, and resilience. Within you flows a lineage not forged by human hands, but by the eternal heart of heaven. When you falter or feel the world's heaviness pressing upon your soul, remember you are held in the palm of my hand, unshakable, resilient, cherished. I've breathed my spirit into you, igniting a light no darkness can extinguish. This light is your true identity, your unbreakable core. It doesn't depend on achievements, nor does it wither with failures. It simply is. It is my love alive within you. Do you see how your every tear, every ache has been gathered and transformed by me into streams of grace and growth? The storms you faced were never beyond my knowledge or control. Each gust and thunderclap was met with my sustaining presence. Even when your heart was too weary to sense it, I've been your refuge and strength, your quiet shelter where your spirit could rest and rebuild. Now is the time for restoration, not just a return to what was, but a promising forward into something more glorious than you dared imagine. Rest your soul in my promise that you belong, not to chaos, not to fear, not to temporary shadows, but to me, your Creator and Eternal Father. You are more than your past, more than your worries and stumblings. You are my masterpiece, my delight, fashioned to reflect heaven's beauty on earth. When you awaken each morning, know my eyes are upon you, and my heart beats in rhythm with yours, whispering, you are loved beyond measure. You are mine. Take courage now to step into the full destiny I've prepared for you. The gifts I've placed in your hands, the dreams I've etched into your spirit, are not for hiding or doubting. You are called to walk boldly, to shine your light with confidence that comes from knowing who you are in me. When the world tries to dim your flame, remember the fire I've kindled within you burns with eternal purpose. You are chosen, appointed to bear lasting fruit that will bless many beyond what you see today. As this truth settles deeply within your heart, release all that weighs you down. Release fear, guilt, and confusion into my hands. I receive them all and transform what is broken into beauty. Trust in my love that never abandons, that never wavers. When you stumble, my arms are there to catch you. When you soar, my spirit celebrates in the heavens. You have an unshakable home in me, an everlasting refuge where your spirit thrives and sings. My dear child, hear my invitation. Live fully in the reality of who you are in me. You are my beloved, redeemed and radiant, embraced by a love that defines eternity. Go forward with boldness, knowing you carry my presence with you always. Walk in the light of your true identity and let your life be a testament to the power of divine love at work in the human heart's depths. I delight in you endlessly. Now, as this message concludes, hide it in your heart. Carry it as a precious treasure in quiet times and moments of trial. Let it be the melody you return to when doubt calls or hope feels distant. You are forever mine, and I am forever yours. Let this truth carve space in your soul where peace reigns supreme and joy flows eternal. Amen. If your heart has been touched, my beloved, don't keep this message to yourself. Share it gently with others who wander through shadows and long for the dawn. Save these words as a lamp to your feet and a light to your path whenever you need to be reminded of who you truly are in me. My beloved child, let this word reach beyond your heart. Send it to someone aching for peace. These aren't just spoken phrases, they're spiritual seeds meant to grow within you. There's a calling on your life that cannot be ignored, and the days ahead will require your full heart, your steady faith. But know this, you never walk alone. If this message has filled you with hope, subscribe and return. Each visit, a deeper dive into purpose, strength, and spiritual clarity. Don't keep this to yourself. Offer it to someone stumbling through doubt. Let them feel the shift. Until we meet again, stay faithful, stay brave, and hold on to the truth that you are deeply known and powerfully equipped. Amen.